Hello, this is Telomere and welcome to another repair video. In this video we're looking at a Amazon Fire HD8, I believe is what the model is. It may also be an HD10, but I'm pretty sure it's an HD8. The customer, as you can see, has it's a broken screen, but it's not just a broken screen, it's a broken LCD as well, and it is bad. So in this occasion, the customer doesn't really want it fixed, they want it functional so they can get information off of the tablet. So that is what we're trying to do in this occasion. Now, we've got another Amazon Fire HD8 tablet that hopefully has a functioning screen. If it doesn't, we can go and purchase maybe a tablet that's just for parts or repair only. But we're going to get this thing apart. I'm going to see what we can do. That is bad. Look at that. So with these kinds of tablets, they're pretty easy to get into. Now, usually I'd recommend using one of these plastic pry tools just to protect the plastic, but it's so beat up that it doesn't really matter at this point. So I'm just going to get it open with this. It's ever in rough shape. It's just got cracks everywhere. From what the customer told me, the tablet had been punched. It has an SD card in there. I got to keep that in mind, put it somewhere safe, because that's the customer's. I'm going to put it on a piece of tape. It is just so gross how dirty this tablet is. It's makes me wonder if maybe it had been used in a mechanic shop or something like that. Partially might explain why it got punched. Kind of feels like it's sticking at the bottom, but I think it's just this corner right here. No, it's sticking right here. Sometimes when that happens, the reason why it is stuck is actually because of liquid damage. So hopefully that's not the case. I mean, the tablet does turn on and it makes sound, so that is reassuring. So there's some actual clips that are holding it in place down here in the bottom. Ha! There we are. So now we've got it apart. We're just looking to see how similar this is to another tablet that I've got on hand, and it does look very similar. The charge port is in very good condition. I don't see any water damage, which is very reassuring. So I just got to desolder these two speakers. I'm going to go and disconnect that power right here. I'll get all these cables disconnected. This one here as well needs to be disconnected. I'm going to put this piece of tape, just going to move it over to right here, so that I know where it goes when I need to put it all back together again. Now underneath here is actually a sticky kind of metallic material. Let's see if I can I get it up, or am I going to need to use some alcohol? There we go. That came up pretty easily. Okay, we got some screws. All those right there, as well as right there. Then after I get that sorted, I'm going to have to go over to my soldering station. Okay, that's everything. Now, if I recall last time I did this, it was very hard to get out. And part of the reason is mostly, I believe it's mostly because of the clips. And there's another clip right here. There we go. Not a clip, another ribbon cable. There we go. Despite how dirty the tablet is on the outside, it's pristine on the inside, isn't it? There we go. Almost got it. There. Let's move over and get that desoldered. So this right here is the tablet that I've been working on. It's going to be in another video. That's this one right here. It's got severe water damage, but hopefully the screen itself is okay. Now it is cracked, but it doesn't look like it is as bad as this one is, as shocking as that is to say. So let's try that out. Now, this one does have a little bit of water damage still on the cables themselves. So I'm going to have to go underneath the microscope and let's see if we can just clean those up. So you can see some of it right here. And I just want to... I think I'm going to have to take the... Oh, no, it's not that bad. Just thinking of taking a Q-tip to this and just cleaning it up. What I'm curious about is whether or not there is any corroded pads. And if the pads are completely corroded all the way through, then we're in trouble. Can't really tell at the moment. I'm gonna have to get myself some polishing agent. Okay, this isn't anything particularly special. It's just called Plastics. It's Meguiar's Plastics. It's made for plastic, technically, but from my experience, it works very well in general for getting rid of corrosion. So you don't need an absolute ton. You don't want it everywhere. So let's get back to this. This coloration is not coming off. I've got a polishing pen. I'm going to try using that. Just a polishing pen. Nothing special. I'd also call it a grinding pen, but it's got something for polishing, which is great. I think it's helping. Look at all the gunk that's coming off there. I gotta keep it a little bit flatter. The pins, they're shiny, extremely shiny. Now this one over here, how's this one looking? It's got some corrosion on it as well, but that's on the other side. This one is not so important. I'm gonna give it a cleaning anyways, but it is, as I said, it's not nearly as important as the screen itself. That last chunk there is just not coming off. It's cleaned up very well though. So we have another cable over here. Let's see how that one looks. That one's pretty darn clean. Very clean, in fact. I don't know what power level we have in the battery itself. Hopefully it's okay. So let's get this board desoldered. As before, you just got these two here, and that should be it. Here's one. There's two. Very good. That is out of the way. We should be able to disconnect this completely, remove it from this one. And let's put it into this tablet. Now we don't really need to reattach these speaker wires, that's all they are. The customer is specifically looking for data recovery. That's all that matters to them. I have to put this all together anyway, so I'm going to snap this down into place because this needs to go back to the customer in a usable condition. Last thing, power. Okay, here goes nothing. Now there is a possibility this battery is completely drained of all power. Before we try that, let's just try turning it on. If I can remember where all the power buttons are. I think it's this one right here. This one should be the power button. Nothing. Let's go back to the other bench. Now I want to start off with power. Let's see if it gets some. Let's see if it gets some juice. It's a power draw. Nothing on the screen so far though. It is still possible the battery is completely dead, or not clept in completely, apparently. It's sometimes, just check your connections. That's a better power draw. Still nothing on screen, though. I'm pretty sure there's something that usually appears on screen, even if the battery is completely dead and it's charging. It should show a charging symbol. Let's just leave it charging for a bit, and let's see what happens. Well, I did a ton of testing on this thing, and no matter what I did, the screen just had no reaction at all, which is very unfortunate. So what I did was I went in and purchased a new screen, because what else can I do, unfortunately. Now the color is not the same as the original back, and that's okay. Well, here's the screen. So I think it's going to be in my best interest to also salvage the battery out of this one. And I think once I've got all this stuff transferred, so let's get started. We also have these little guys to move over as well. Well, that took a hideously large amount of time. Ugh, look at all that glue adhesive stuff everywhere. I'm going to have to get that cleaned up. Oh gosh. And I got to get this up. This has been glued down as well. Oh man. I'll have to use the heat gun on that. That's just nasty. I think that's everything. That's everything that we need. I just need to get this battery cleaned up, and then I can start getting the board and everything over to the new tablet. Let's do that. Okay, let's get this board in here. Now we're not going to push it all the way down just yet. I want to test it first, and it can be quite annoying to get this board back out. So just for the moment, we're just going to get everything lined up, pushed in place, and it'll make sure that it is doing what it's supposed to be doing before we go ahead and push it all the way down and clip it in place. Because once you get it clipped in place, it's pretty darn annoying to get it back out. Okay, those are connected. I'm leaving the face cam off for now. I don't know actually what this is. Maybe that is what the digitizer is. That is a possibility. It's a bit small for a digitizer, but it's possible. And the back camera there, and the speakers are not plugging in right now, but I do need to connect up this antenna. So far, so good. Let's connect the battery up. There we go. And hold that board in while we turn on the power. There we have it. It's working. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Awesome. We can get this clipped together, and yeah, that feels pretty darn good. So at this point, we just got to push this down, get it to clip in place, put the screws in. I got to go and solder those back in together as well. So let's do that right now. I'm going to disconnect this tablet first from its power. Get that battery out until we have this fully locked down first. So to get this in place, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of pushing it all into place. So up here there is a clip, and I might be able to get it underneath it in advance, and that way it'll be less of a pain when we start putting it in the other areas of the board. I don't know why, but I'm having a great deal of difficulties getting this to sit down. Just right here. I believe I found out what's holding it back. If you look on the old tablet, right here, it's just straight down, it's nice and flat, but here they've got some plastic in the way. I don't see anything else that's different either. It's just that. It's just that area and nothing else. I don't see anything else that's different. Just that spot there. That's so frustrating. So we finally have the correct product in. This one right here, as you can see, it has the lines going vertically, and it's got like squares in it. While this one doesn't, it's proper. I've got it already put together because I forgot to record. But this is what it's supposed to look like with the lines going across it like that. And that's what it looks like, which is great. So I've got it all together, batteries connected, screens connected, etc. Let's try powering this on, make sure it works before we finish getting it all together and get those cables soldered back in place. There we go. It is on, it is working. That is so good to see. So let's get this board properly connected in. I'm going to disconnect the battery just because I'm going to be playing around a lot with the board, and I don't want it to do something stupid. Now with this, it's got clips in it. It can be very difficult to get it to do what you want it to do. So hopefully this can work properly. It's in its proper spot there. It's sitting flush right there, which is great to see. So it's just a matter of getting the rest of this clipped into place. For example, at the bottom here, it's going to take some force, I think. But yeah, there. Good. Good. That's flush. I think I'm going to have to put a little dab of adhesive underneath here. I'm going to do one final test before I go and I take that adhesive strips off of the battery compartment. Everything should be more or less in its proper place at this point in time. Yep, there we go. Speakers are working. Did you hear that? Did that little jingle? Oh, it feels so much better. I'm going to connect the battery in first before putting the battery in, just so I can have it lined up proper like. There we go. Very nice. Now let's get those screws in. Let's get that Kapton tape back over that connector. I cleaned up the shell a little bit. It's in pretty rough shape. I might even do a little bit more cleaning on that. It is in such rough shape. That's it. I don't have the white version. I couldn't even find one, at least for a good price. Look at that. There's a giant chunk out of that right there. Beautiful. Still comes on. Now I got to send this back to my parts provider. That's really all there is to this video, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, please do leave a like. And if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. We'll see you guys all in another video. Bye.